New American Liberty League, listen. I'm here today with the future mayor of Tallahassee, Shawn Foust. He has my full endorsement. We spoke online for a long time, and he was like, man, let's just meet up and talk. And I know him as a man, I know him as a father, and he has my full endorsement for mayor. Sir, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, I'm Shawn Foust. I'm running for mayor of Tallahassee this season, 2026. We've only got less than a month to go till the primary, and we're looking to pick up as many votes and support as we can, and we're struggling with an uphill battle here. I came from Osceola County to go to FSU, fell in love, had some kids, never left, and I deeply care about this town. I've been here almost 25 years, and I've worked in the state government, 18 years of public service, straddled private business the entire time, here and there, started a few businesses. Most recently, I started a business IT consulting firm that's been successful, and I have seen the systems, how they work within the government from the ground level, and I'm ready to fix these systems in a way that saves our town money, brings our town revenue, and keeps us from having to raise taxes to pay for things that we can't afford.
Absolutely, and we agree. We've talked a lot, and we agree on most things, and we're going to go over a lot of it. There's how to deal with Democrats we disagree a little bit with, and we'll get into that later on. He's called me out on it a few times, but you'll see. First, I love this. I've always thought this city has a lot of potential. Absolutely. And we spoke about how to make Tallahassee a destination to live, a destination to visit. He has an idea called running on renderings, that he just takes a few certain parts of the town that he has ideas for, and tell us what are some of the big changes and things you think you can make happen in Tallahassee.
So it'll be a lot of little changes, but the very biggest change I want to make is William Hatfield called it your big, hairy, audacious goal. My big, hairy, audacious goal is to revamp Star Metro, so that people just say, we throw more money at it. Why haven't we tried something new like city branded vans? We already have the TPD cars that go around for non-emergencies. We can convert those into a city branded app that we can white label from day one that would cover 24/7 transit for people. We could take a chunk of the Uber and Lyft airport rides. Every other city in the country that has it together is doing that. Mm-hmm. And now we have this whole developers versus residents versus business narrative that's been pushed by the Democrats, and mostly the Democratic Socialists. That wing of the party has gone off the rails, but they stand in the way of progress over and over and over again because they want to win elections, Democratic, and then bring socialism, where it's free stuff for the voters until everybody else on the outside has run out of money.
Gotcha. And you've spoken to me before. We've had conversations about water parks, about Doak Campbell having events during the off season. We've talked about bringing a little more life to downtown Tallahassee, some businesses, some shops. Are these things in the mayor position? Are these things you truly believe you can make happen?
Yes, I really do. And people have argued with me about the city policy and that's outside the city's purview. I don't think it's outside the purview of the soft power of the mayor. We can appoint board seats to the Blueprint, the Community Redevelopment Agency. We can influence other commissioners. I have the ability to control the schedule, bring items that have been ignored. I've been talking to residents out in the county and in the city who say, I've had this issue, we just want one sidewalk on Buena Vista. I've had this issue where we were promised retirement, hazard retirement, the 911 operators who are, listening to people's worst moments all day long. That causes a lot of emotional toll on people, and that has been on the agenda months after months after months and gotten pushed away. So I want to be an open, accessible mayor who hears from residents around here and respects Tallahassee residents who just don't want to be told what to do, live their lives quietly, and go about their day.
And let me promise you that he's telling the truth, because we would go back and forth on some of our disagreements on Facebook. We talk about the things we agreed on, and he wanted to meet me. So when he says he really wants to reach people and talk to people, that's not lip service. Like he is that guy. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of local politics.
Sure.
Some things that are happening now, current things. Do you think that the city and county, if they're getting less tax money from the property taxes, like DeSantis wants, I think is a great idea. If they're getting less money, can they live within their means?
Absolutely, because we're a unique town that has a huge surge in seasonal economic activity. And when we do something like take control of our airport from Uber and Lyft and say, look, you can't do business here unless we get $3 a ride. And that doesn't come out of the driver's pocket. It comes out of Silicon Valley's shit. And we can make cuts. Now, it is a significant, it's an issue, but it's not as big of an issue as mayoral candidates. We were invited to a city orientation, and we went over the budget, and it goes from 25 to 29. At first, we lose about 10 million in the operating budget, which is a big funding for the police. But we can find other ways within the budget to move money around, and also make a lot of cuts that the city and the county have overlapping services, or they're fighting about things, and I just want to bring people together and find a solution that's a compromise that everyone can live with.
And I think in a situation like that, this is why I think you're a good candidate. In a situation like that, where you have to be efficient and you have to find where you could cut, what you could do better, where you could make this money at. He's built a business. He runs a business. I think that's a good fit. I think we would be in, I don't want to name drop here, but our campaign manager calls him a T-Town Mandami. So I don't know if that philosophy at mayor and bringing in less money, I don't think those two things are going to work.
Yeah, I call him great value, Mount Donnie. The Democratic get elected by saying whatever the heck you want. We go back 8 years and look at the debates when you first ran, saying the same exact things. We need sidewalks on South Side. The billionaires are hurting you. There's division, and the Democrats keep causing division amongst these groups who they're supposed to help. And now, a lot of times when I fall on tough times, it's my conservative friends who come to my aid, who find me a place to work, or tell me, hey, straighten up, Mike. And when it's the Democrats, it's like, well, it's not your fault. It's the economy. It's President Trump. It's this. It's that.
Right.
This is a nonpartisan race. Politics don't matter anymore, and they never did in Tallahassee. We're an intelligent town, and we used to be able to have debates with Republicans and Democrats and go home at the end of the day and not feel like we had to kill each other. Now, this wing of the party, and Great Value Mamdani calls it, calls the other people the old guard. Now, the old guard, I respect the old guard. There are elders. I think we've learned a lot from them, but it's time for people our age, the Gen X, older millennials, to step up and serve, so that our boomer friends can retire and have their quirky little businesses that are open 3 days a week.
Right.
So they can have their third places to go to. And
so and we'll get into this later. How we deal with Democrats is something we disagree on a little bit. Let me ask you this, since we're talking about being efficient, things that could pay off, especially if we're bringing in less tax revenue. Done right, if we don't rush into it, could Leon County and Tallahassee benefit from data centers in the long run?
In the long run, yeah. And we have to approach that by being at the table and not saying, no, not in our town, because they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way. And now, at the same time, Tallahassee's very protective of our environment. And so I come from Osceola County, where whenever I went back, there was a new stoplight, new strip mall, knew this, knew that, and that was a chance. That was a place where the government was captured by special interests, but here it's not. The Blue Dog Democrats, I respect them. They're working with children. They're working with 7th graders, and we saw that with the
This
news
is the ones
today.
that aren't Republicans yet. The
Yeah.
ones that aren't Republicans
Right,
yet.
right.
Or,
I've had some conversations with people I've met who are supporters of my opponents, and I say, well, we're doing business, and we get real business-like, and I say, well, you're a business Republican, right? Because they don't want to pay extra fees on the credit card processing. They don't want to, we want to pay our taxes, of course, but let's just be honest. Americans don't want to pay taxes. We don't like taxes.
Right.
We founded this country.
necessary evil.
Yeah, we founded this country on not paying taxes and not having representation.
Yeah,
and
we
now
went to a war with
we
about
went
it.
to a whole damn war. And now it's the 250th anniversary of that revolution, and the county in Tallahassee is not getting representation, but they're getting taxed.
Right.
The bejesus is going to be taxed out of them if we have this socialist in office. And
Please no
you're
Tallahassee.
welcome, Tallahassee, for getting in the race.
Michael
He
Foust.
he stands no chance now.
Future mayor.
So thank you, Dave.
He's in trouble.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, before we go, before we get to the last part, I want to cover the little things I was talking about. So I had the big, huge vision of people being able to get around and work in gig economy services that are provided by the city, so that we keep all that revenue here instead of going to Silicon Valley. The little things of our parks. So this will be part of getting feedback from every single neighborhood, every single resident, every single person who pays utilities or owns a business. Now, these are all things that can get you qualified for a seat on like a development board or a position in the city, but it doesn't get you a vote. So you have business owners own a business that does a ton of economic activity in town, and then they go back out to their maybe just a block outside the city, and then they can't vote on that. So I think everybody needs representation.
Let me tell you one of the things that I liked about our future mayor, Michael Foust. I hear it when he speaks. This man is a builder. He wants to make something. That's why he built a business. He was actually telling me about in the 2nd grade he built his first business.
Yeah.
And some people can turn that mayor position into being just a figurehead. They're just there camping out. They're around talking to people, giving speeches. That's not him. This man is a worker. Like this is a builder, not Mr. Figurehead guy. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a full-time job, in my opinion. There's limits to the power, and I'm not the type of person to ask permission. When it comes to government, I beg forgiveness, and that's because a lot of these old rules are still there. Let me tell you a quick story about the processes and how they get screwed up in government, because I worked for so long there. Now, there's an experiment where they took 5 monkeys, and there was a banana on a platform. The monkeys, whenever they went to the platform, they got sprayed with a hose. So all 5 monkeys, they don't touch the banana anymore. They eat other bananas. They slowly took one monkey out and brought a new monkey in. And whenever the new monkey would go to the banana, the other monkeys would attack him. And so they brought a new one, a new one, a new one, and they replaced all 5 monkeys. None of them had ever been sprayed with the hose for the banana. But when one of the monkeys went for the banana, now none of them having been hosed before, the other monkeys would attack him, and they said, why? And, well, it's just always been done like that. And I've gone into so many government agencies and say, why has it always been done like that? That's stupid. Let's cut this. We're not using it. And I also have some ideas for bringing in revenue for the city that aren't taxes that we can hit on, similar to the bed tax, where we can bill people in the ride share that are coming here and using everything that property taxes pay for, the roads, the police, the fire. You can come to the game. That's a big use of our roads. Anyway, we can surcharge during these seasonal events and take that revenue directly for the city by using their billing address as a geographic tell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you can work within the framework of the law of, the bed tax, because the city is a business. And I want to say one last thing, because this wasn't on the agenda, but the city manager, you should start applying. You should get in there, because the new commission is looking to work with you. I don't think our city can wait till January for a new city manager. That's the real job that does the work of the city. The mayor can be a figurehead, but I want to be a hands-on mayor. I want to be accessible. And let's get to the next step.
I like that. I like that. Since you reminded me of something, since you said things have always been done the same way, that's their answer for everything. The Democrats in this town have always done things the same way with the South Side. Some of these places. There's a big problem with builders that are scared to touch anything in South Side, and there's also a big problem with investors that are scared to come into the South Side. And you and me have spoke about this. We think some of it is being done on purpose by Democrats in the city. We think some of it's probably incompetence. What do you think the biggest issue in Southside is, and is there a fix for Southside and just areas like it?
Areas where there are homes that are so old that they still have asbestos, lead paint, things that can risk a builder or renovator's license.
Mm-hmm.
They could risk both their own livelihood and at the same time trigger a state or federal review that would have that person's house condemned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that people don't want to work together and help these neighborhoods renovate. It's that the city's getting in the way, and the permitter makes $30,000 a year. There's huge turnover, so there's this huge wait time for people to get for builders to get permits done. And, I've talked to people in the Builders Association who said, the last big development here, track housing, they'll never do it again because it was just such a nightmare. And I think the city should help navigate those rather than get in the way.
See, this is one thing where me and him differ a little bit. And this is actually the first thing we started talking about on social media.
That's how we met.
That's how we met, yeah. Disagreeing.
Yeah.
I think the right answer for Southside, I think the right answer for any area in any city is you need to pass policies that make Democrats uncomfortable, and you need to bring in investors and price them out of their own city. We have to get rid of Democrats. We differ.
Daniel, I love the energy. I love the passion, and I don't think that Daniel's talking about people here. He's talking about an ideology that has been purposefully dividing us for 20, 30, 40 years. We've seen it time and time again in this progressive wing of the party that doesn't respect the old guard. I respect the old guard. We can get along with people and go home at the end of the day. Maybe we have a compromise, it's not the best, but that's how government is supposed to work. It's supposed to be boring. It's supposed to have checks and balances. It's supposed to have everyone included, and it's supposed to be accessible by local citizens. And I'm the only millionaire not running. But even if I was, I'd still run my campaign the exact same way, where I've spent less than $1,000 and I've made it this far. But I need you guys' help. If we want to keep this train going, I need support from businesses. Don't be afraid anymore. You're allowed to have an opinion. You're allowed to voice it. We're going to make it so that the city and the county cannot fire you for any social media post. We're going to make it so that people are respected and able to have conversations and not lose business. And the current administration that we have, it's been vindictive. I've talked to many people who just cannot do business with the city because of some certain commissioners.
Now, I hope he's right. I don't think we could reach these people. I don't think we could work with these people. He's always told me different. He said they're still reachable. At the end of the day, I know I'm a little bit jaded. I hope he's right. That's all I can say.
Well, I understand getting jaded, and I was at a point where I thought Democrats were unreachable, and I went through some more stuff, and I went through some harder stuff, and I went through some worse stuff with their drama, and it caused me to realize that they're deeply unhappy because they get up every morning and they're told America's bad, the oppressors are America, the oppressed are the heroes, and you know these people that are trying to destroy our country from the inside or the outside, these are not good people, and we need to make some snap judgments sometimes. And there are a few people that can't be saved, and it's the progressive candidates that are running. So we need to save Tallahassee by electing somebody new, somebody different, somebody with bold ideas, who's willing to work with everyone, not only listen to everyone, but get these ideas that are good ideas from the conservative and the liberals to work together, because that's how Tallahassee is.
You know, I was going to ask you why Tallahassee should try something new, and you just killed it. If you got any shout outs to make, if you got any, listen, Michael Shawn Foust, our future mayor,
the next mayor.
We are Anthony, our campaign, his campaign manager. This is the Tallahassee GOP now. Like, we are the local GOP, the state GOP is absent in Tallahassee. It has to be the people. It has to be you. It has to be us. Please support this man. Tell us why Tallahassee should try something new.
Let me tell you a story. Here's why they should try something new. My best friend coming up, we met in 5th grade, went to high school together, we were an international baccalaureate and all that. He went to California on a very Ivy League education and all that. I came to Florida State. And I had a great time here, but he went to California and was working for Silicon Valley and different startups and things, and he got sick of all the democratic regulations there that were destroying the natural beauty of California. And now he's mayor of Panama City Beach. He won by 600 votes. 600 votes.
Wow.
And the local GOP backs him. The state GOP came against him.
Wow.
And right at the last minute. So we need to get the whole Florida GOP on our side. We're starting a new local chapter. We're tired of waiting, and we need to get going 100 miles per hour to paint this town red.
Future mayor, Michael Shawn Foust, sir.
Thank you. Foust.rocks/donate, Tallahassee.rocks. It's going to be the big new thing where everybody can go and advertise their local businesses. Thank you.
And we are the new American Liberty League, saving Tallahassee one video at a time.